Okay, so the unique contributions of my field to tech stewardship. Well, I actually have a bunch of fields, so I'm going to pick for this one to think about industrial engineering. That was my engineering discipline, and I think in particular about human factors, which I really found fascinating when I was studying industrial engineering, and thinking about the contributions of human factors and user experience. Even before we came up with UX and using design for the technology we use on our screens, going way back to this Apollo missions and designing spacecraft and designing rockets so that people could interact and control their systems in a way that proved to be effective and aligned with human behavior and psychology. And all the design improvements that have come from human factors design and that have kept us safe. Even take air traffic control, and the idea of those planes flying overhead an airport. And it was through a study of human factors engineering that helped us understand that you could avoid crashes by putting planes in holding patterns, because it wasn't clearly known how the human air traffic controller really handled a massive amount of planes coming into a really busy airport. So human factors and user experience and the design improvements and thinking about what the human operator can do, and that Boeing 737 MAX crash, and listening to what the pilots were trying to do when those planes crashed gives you a real understanding for how complex it can be to really design something that's got so many moving parts to it, literally, and to avoid terrible consequences. So that's one area of unique contributions, human factors in industrial engineering.
Amongst other things, I am a questioner. I love questions as much as I love answers. Being a questioner helps me to grow as a tech steward because I'm constantly asking questions about where we're going with technological development. I want to know how stuff works and why it was designed that way. I think constantly questioning technology is important because the kinds of questions we ask often determine where we focus our attention. And tech stewards always need to ask, am I focused on the right thing so that technology is beneficial for all? I'm also a mother, which gives me now a longer-term perspective on where technology needs to head. Even if I won't be around forever to be directly affected by the upsides and downsides of technology, people that I love are navigating their way through long after I'm gone, and I'd like to know that I did my part to bend the arc of technology towards the good.
So I have tried on a number of different hats and professional identities so far in my career, from innovation consultant to brand strategist, ethnographic researcher, human-centered designer, foresight and transformation strategist, and all of which sort of like bounce between and integrate to different fields like marketing and business strategy and systems thinking, anthropology and design, and that is exactly how I like it. And I think it's that kind of like fluidity with these fields and different identities that has prepared me to sort of like play this kind of role in tech stewardship in a lot of spaces I've been in. Because I fundamentally believe like no single field like has a monopoly on the right path forward here. There is no playbook. And I think our future is actually just best charted in the space in between all of these fields, and therefore it's probably best sort of led by people who can speak a diversity of those languages.